We kind of have to start with that now, right? Welcome back to my channel, and today's video, the Swedish word of the day is torn, which is in Swedish kluven. Kluven. So today I'm gonna do another shop my stash video. I am going to, in the beginning, go through all of the makeup that I have used for the past 2 weeks, and then we're gonna pick out some new makeup that we're gonna use for the next 2 weeks. So I thought that we would hop into my little makeup bag that I have right here. This is where I keep all of my makeup, and this is what I do my makeup from. I have 2 of them. I have this one and then this one, which I keep more brushes, and then some other palettes. I'm gonna keep all of my shop my stash. No, I'm gonna keep all of my project pan products in here. And I'm not really gonna talk about them that much, but we can start off talking about this blush. I absolutely loved keeping a powder blush in. I haven't done that in so many weeks because you guys know I love my cream blushes. But it's been really nice when I know that I have a longer day to go over it a little bit with a powder blush, just so I know that it keeps and it's gonna stay the entire day, and it kind of changes the texture a little bit. And it was especially nice this time around when I used the Flower Beauty blushes, because they are a bit sheer for my liking, and they're still really nice. So don't get me wrong, I'm trying just to find them here. But they are a bit sheer, and I wish that they were a little bit more pigmented, but you cannot have it all, so that's fine. I also really enjoyed having my Anastasia foundation in with my ColourPop foundation. They mix beautifully together, but the problem is that I hate the pump in this, and I realized actually that I am so far down in this foundation. If you would have asked me where I am in this foundation, I would say probably up to here, but I think I'm down to here. No, maybe here. This one is from Kaleidos, and this gave me such a white cast when I used it on top of another highlight. I don't understand why. I think I blended it in a little bit badly, or I did a poor job. I use this highlight so much. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I freaking adore this highlight. It is so good, but I loved topping it off with my Fenty highlights. So this is What a Brat, and I tried to mainly stick to right up here to place my brush, just so I wouldn't ruin the print in this. This is very dear to my heart because it was given to me by one of my subscribers that I feel such a strong connection to, so it's just very dear to my heart. This one was kind of new to me actually, and I really enjoyed this, if I'm gonna be totally honest. I thought that this was so beautiful on the skin, and I also feel like it was a little bit pore reducing, which was so nice. I absolutely I definitely enjoyed this. This is a very luminous primer. This one is really interesting. Inika actually just came to Beauty Bay, which was so nice to see. So I think that, you know, this is my Project Pan foundation, and this is the It Cosmetics CC cream. This is just the OG one, and I actually think that this is a little bit too luminous for my liking. I know, who am I? So when I'm using this, I actually use this primer because it is a little bit more matte, and it makes the foundation go on a little bit more matte, and I kind of need to powder as well when I use this. And I don't like to use this on camera because you go in so much studio light that it kind of looks very more luminous than it actually is. I don't think there's anything else that we need to talk about in this makeup bag. Nope. So let's see if there is anything in here that we need to talk about. No, I actually don't think that there is. So let's hop into the eyeshadow palettes. I will show you guys looks that I have done with all of the palettes on screen when I talk about the palette. I've used, I think, this palette the most because it was new and I wanted to use it and review it for you guys. So all of the looks that I've done with this is gonna come on the screen right now. So this is the Ellie Girl Pro Mastery palette. I got this in PR. I have done a video with it as well. well that I can link in the corner in case you wanted to see it. But I actually really enjoyed this palette. I thought that it was so pretty and I loved all the looks that I got out of it. But I will say that some looks actually became a little bit they kind of reminded of each other, so I felt like it was very, like you could only do certain looks with it and they kind of resembled each other. So one day I decided to go for a very neutral look to see if that was possible. So I dipped into this one, and this one right here, and then I put this one on my lid, and it became this beautiful neutral look that I really enjoyed. I also used my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette a lot. No, not a lot. I think I used this maybe 2 or 3 times. So one time I just stuck to the browns, and then I took the Morphe Pride palette, and then I don't remember what I did actually with this palette, but I did use it a couple of times, especially in conjunction with my Pride palette. I love the shade Liberation. I think it's so pretty. I used this one once as well, and it's so pretty. I used both of these actually. I used this shade. I kind of want to reach for this one more time this summer because I felt like I didn't get enough use out of it. Did I use this shade as well? I think I did something green. Maybe I used both of these and then this one a little bit, or I can't remember, but they're gonna be on screen. We also used this one, but I actually think I only used this once. I did such a pretty look with this one. I think I used the more berries and this shade. I was very inspired by this shade. I wonder if I took a shimmer from another palette. Oh, my memory is so bad. But then I think that a lot of you guys are here to see what I thought about the Riviera palette. So the first look that I did, I wanted to keep a bit more neutral. So I actually went in with these and then the brown. And then I went in with Inheritance, and oh my fucking god, I hated that makeup. It was so trashy, so I actually went over it with the shade Palomero. I hated how that looked as well. Don't hate this shade, but this one is so crumbly, it just doesn't work. It just comes off. But then I went in with the shade Yacht, and that became so much more pretty. I used this once again, don't remember what I did, but for my last look I used this one, Monte Carlo, and Cannes, and then I used Mediterranean on my lid, and I loved that look. I thought it was so pretty. So I'm a little bit torn still what to do, which is why it was the Swedish word of the day. So I think I'm just gonna keep it for now, and then I might actually end up decluttering it in a while, but not right now. So I think that that's all that we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna put all of the makeup back, and then we can pick out some new products to use. So as you guys know, I usually have themes for my Shop My Stashes because it's a little bit more entertaining for you guys, and it's also more fun to me. And this time around I'm so excited because I think I'm gonna do my favorites. Obviously I have a lot of favorites, and they're favorites for different reasons, but we're gonna pick a lot of makeup that I just like. So I'm gonna take my Illamasqua primer. I love this for hydration, but I kind of actually want to take this one as well, or should I take this? You know what, I think I'm gonna take my Cover FX primer. I want to see how my Project Pan foundation works with this because it is a little bit more matte. If it doesn't really work out, I will put this back, and I'm gonna take the one from Inika because I actually really like that. And then for foundation, I am gonna take two that I love. So I'm gonna take my Ardell Camouflage foundation. You guys know this is a holy grail for me, and I also really want to take my Dose of Colors foundation. This is the Meet Your Hue, and I have the one in the shade 110 Light. This one I have in just light 1.0. I know this isn't a perfect angle, but this is what I can work with currently. So for this rotation, I want to take this one. I love this one from Too Faced, and I actually think that I can finish this one up. I don't know, but I think I don't have that much left in it, but maybe I have a lot still left in this one. I kind of also really enjoyed this one from Milani, so I think I'm gonna take this one as well. You can see this has been very used. So here's my blushes, and if you've been on my channel for a long time, you guys know which blush I'm gonna take. This one. Hi, my darling. This is the Natasha Denona Bloom palette. It's been a little bit neglected because I've used some new cream blushes and whatnot, but she's getting pulled out again. So this is what my baby looks like. She is such a beauty, and I can't wait to use her for the next couple of weeks. I will take another blush as well, and I actually want to take Rally. I love this Rally blush from Milk Makeup. This is a more cool tone story, so I think that this will go very well with the Natasha Denona palette. And I want to take a powder blush as well this time around. Maybe Down Boy or Cabana Boy from the Balm, or Le Balm as my mother says. She also calls NARS Nush. I'm actually gonna put them both in because why not? But that's all for blushes. This is the highlight drawer, and I'm actually gonna take a new highlight. I actually bought this one from Milani. So this is one of my purchases for my low buy. I only have one more highlight to purchase, and if you remember, no, you haven't seen that low buy. Yes, you have seen that. I said that I was only allowed to purchase 2 cream blushes. I changed the rules because I felt like I had a lot of powder highlights. Did I say blushes? I'm so sorry. But I changed it to highlights, or a cream highlights. This is what it looks like. I have no idea if I'm in focus. I'm sitting in a very uncomfortable way. I also want to take my favorite highlight, which you guys know is this one from Pixie. This is my second one. I had this one and I used this shade up. I don't use this shade, but this is just so pretty. This is so pretty. They have 2 different ones, but this is the Subtle Sunrise. And then I kind of also want to take another one, which is my Stila one. I had this in not that long ago, but it's not a favorite formula from me, but I loved this pink shade to have on its own. It was just such a pretty shade to wear on its own. Fuck, I'm so sorry. Swatches is really hard right now, but we're gonna move on to bronzers. You guys know that I love all of the powders that I have, but I think I'm gonna take my Fenty because that's like my favorite. I just love this one. This is in the shade Butter. Perfect. I'm gonna use that one. And for bronzers, I like all of my bronzers. I'm actually thinking about decluttering this one though, but I like all my bronzers. My all-time favorite is this one from the Balm, but or Le Balm as my mom says, as I said. But I kind of want to take this. Mine is very beat up. This is from Makeup Revolution. This is the Baked Bronzer. It doesn't say that it's baked, but this is the Bronzer Reloaded Holiday Romance is the shade. If I swatch this, it looks pathetic. It doesn't even look like anything. A little bit, but it has this beautiful sheen to it, which I think is gonna be really, really pretty during May. It's gonna be May. Obviously, I want to take this one. It's not my favorite bronzer in my entire collection, but I know that I will love this during this time around. And since it is my favorite rotation, I'm gonna take this one. I should just keep it in because honestly at this point I've used this every single Shop My Stash except for once. Sorry. And then for my little mist, I'm gonna take this one this time around. This is from Glow Recipe. It is the Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. This is actually a little bit more of like a skincare product, but I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna try and use it because I haven't used it too much, so I want to use it a tad more. This is our last step. I don't want to take out any lip products because I'm actually working on a couple, and yeah, I'm working on a couple, so let's just ignore that. But my eyeshadow palettes, it's like playing favorites with your eyeshadow palettes. It's impossible. So this is not like my all-time favorite palettes. I'm just gonna take some eyeshadow palettes that I want to use. That's some of my favorites, and I want to take a couple. So let's see. I want to take this. You know what? I'm just gonna do like this. I'm gonna drag out all of the palettes that I want to use, and then we can decide which ones we want to use, because I know that I'm gonna pull out like 70 millions. Okay, so let's just do it. So all of these I dragged out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 palettes. And that's too much, because if I do my makeup every single day for the next 2 months, 2 weeks I mean, it's gonna be that I can only use these once, and then 4 palettes I can use twice. And I know that there's at least gonna be 1 or 2 days where I don't use makeup. I for sure know that I'm gonna take this palette. This is the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and I have popped in some shadows from the Cranberry palette as well. So this one, and this one. This I really want to use. I've used this for the last 2 days, and I've loved the look, and I've really wanted to use this a lot, because since I started up my Shop My Stash again, I haven't used it at all. So need to use this. And this is also a new palette to me. This is the Natasha Denona Love palette. I had this in one of my Shop My Stash. It's not new, but it is my newest palette, and obviously I want to use this a little bit more and get to know it way more, because I have barely had time to play with her. And then I kind of want to take, maybe I should only take 4 palettes. The thing is that I added in this gingerbread palette because I wanted to use it so much, but maybe we can take this for next rotation or something. And my Sweet Talk palette, I kind of want to do something with these two. And what I mean is that I kind of want to take out some shades and do my own little palette. So let me just play with this a little bit, okay? Oh no. Okay, it's okay. I never use this shade anyway. Just gonna press it down with our fingers. Since it is a shimmer, you can always do that. I know you can do this with magnets, but I don't have a magnet, so I'm just gonna look this time.
But it makes no sense. I need space to find myself, a little time to get some rest. If I stay, I lose my breath. I'm going to find my space.
Okay, so this is where I ended up. I had to just shut off the camera because I was getting so fucking frustrated with it. Definitely a little bit clumsy, but this is now the Lilac You A Lot palette, and I think that some shades in this palette, like this one and this one, is from the It's My Pleasure palette, but this is the palette that I will put in my little Shop My Stash. So this one is from Lilac You A Lot, this one, and I think that one. But I felt like these will go very well together, and then these will go very well together, even like these two. And I feel like it's a little bit more me, and we got a little bit of damage to it, but it's okay. So that one is a palette that I will take, and I have to take my Norvina palette because I've missed her so much, and I just want to use her a little bit. So I think that with these palettes, I will do a lot of purple and pink looks for the next couple of weeks. I will also do some very neutral looks, but that's okay. I've been lusting over all these palettes for the longest time, so I felt very good like redoing my Natasha Denona palette. Obviously I didn't do it on camera, but here in my cranberry palette I have this one, and this one from the gold palette. And I mean, this shade especially is not a Paulina shade. It's not a shade that I would ever see myself reach for. This one, however, I think it's cute, but I don't use it too often, so yeah. And I feel like these are definitely my kind of tones. I have dirty hands, I need to clean them. But yeah, they're way more my tones and the shades that I use. And then now we redid this one, which is so nice. I kind of, just sidetrack here, wanna redo this one with the sunrise, because the sunrise has some shades like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Like a lot of these tones I absolutely love, and I think that they could go really well together. But for now we're just gonna play with this palette. And yeah, that's my shop, my stash. I'm sorry it was a little bit of a longer one, but that's the way it is sometimes. So if you like this video, give me a little thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy this video, give me a thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.